At least 27 dead in Guyana after ferry capsizes. Good evening, listeners. Tonight we bring you a tragic story from South America, specifically from Guyana, where a ferry had a disastrous run. Over a weekend, a state-run vessel that was carrying people from the capital, Georgetown, to a remote gold mining outpost, Port Kaituma, capsized in the waters off Guyana's coast. The authorities said at least 27 bodies have been found, including 4 children, and they warned that the death toll could climb as more people remain missing. When we first heard about the incident overnight, we didn't know the full extent. Rescuers had managed to save at least 69 people, but the picture only became clearer after a thorough search of the wreckage. According to the Guyanese government, the ferry was thought to have carried 179 people, a figure that far exceeds the official manifest, which listed only 133 passengers aboard. That points to a significant overloading issue, raising questions about how passengers were booked and how many might have slipped under the formal check-in. One detail that has opened a new chapter in the investigation is that the captain and a crew member, both of whom were rescued, tested positive for cannabis in drug screenings that took place after the capsizing. The result has stirred speculation about whether drug use by crew could have contributed to the tragedy, though officials have not confirmed a direct causal link. The ferry's route was a routine one, a weekly service that connects the bustling capital with a remote mining community in the northwestern part of the country. In many of those journeys, passengers would wake to the gentle swell of the river, take their coffee, and settle in. Reports from survivors tell us that at the moment of the incident, some had been asleep. The wreck left them with only minutes to reach a life jacket or to cling to floating objects, like insulated ice chests that managed to keep some alive. The disaster has sent shockwaves through Guyana, an oil-rich nation of just under 1 million people that neighbors Brazil and Venezuela. The public outcry has been fierce. A number of residents have called attention to possible illicit practices. On the ferry, tickets might have been sold to passengers whose names did not show up on the manifest, effectively allowing staff to pocket the proceeds. That, coupled with the apparent overloading, has fueled anger and demands for a thorough inquiry. In a televised address, President Irfan Ali said the tragedy had pierced the heart of our nation. He pledged that investigators would determine exactly what caused the vessel to capsize. On Monday, Ali traveled to the site of the wreck, met with survivors and families, and spoke to the press about the urgency of finding the missing. The families affected, and indeed the people of Guyana, deserve answers. They deserve to know precisely what transpired and whether any failures contributed to this heartbreaking event. We will pursue the truth with transparency, impartiality, and accountability. Even as investigations continue, the government has prioritized search and rescue. Teams are working around the clock, and the operation is one of the biggest maritime search efforts Guyana has ever mounted. To support the effort, France sent a squad of 15 divers from its armed forces, part of a larger international response that underscores the seriousness of the incident. As we follow this tragedy's unfolding, we keep in mind the families who have lost loved ones and those who remain missing, hoping for answers and for safety reforms that will prevent such a disaster from happening again. The road to recovery is long, but accountability and safety will have to be at the forefront. Thanks surroundings for their patience as the investigation proceeds. Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.